This is the Hard Ball Gets AFL show. My name's Nick Rynne, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. Gentlemen, what's going on?
Oh, we're very excited today. We just got told by Josh that this is all going on YouTube. It's all on camera.
We're back.
So the whole thing's going to be on camera.
That's right. That's what those things are. Every single time we come in.
Yeah.
No longer socials, but we're on YouTube as well. So that's great.
Yeah, YouTube channel. We have our own channel, Josh. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
We do. We have a channel.
Yes.
We did this briefly last year.
Year before, I reckon it was.
I think we did a couple.
Yeah, we did a couple.
Yeah, and they just went so crazy it almost broke the internet,
well,
so we had to take it down.
That's why we're back.
Big weekend at Crabfest for you,
Big
Zave.
weekend down at Crabfest.
For those over east, it's a festival where they celebrate crabs.
Yes.
It's in
meat.
Mandurah, which is about an hour and a bit out of Perth.
Wait,
it's
I'm
a beautiful little town.
It's like crab in like a produce sense, not just like people like pet crabs, right?
It's funny you say that
it's
because
fresh.
On the way down there, my daughter asked if she could get some crazy crabs while we were down there. I said, I don't think it's those kind of crabs, Boo. But she said, if they're there, can we?
Can I have them?
So absolutely, but I'm pretty sure all the crabs there are going to be getting cooked.
In sandwiches
it's a food
pastas.
crab system. So.
Except I was on stage and had to cook had to cook a meal on stage for the audience. It's Crab Fest, so guess what I cooked?
Crabs.
Fish tacos.
It's not Fish Taco Fest.
No,
That's a different kind of festival.
That was.
He's been breaking the walls too. He's been appearing for other podcasts. The Dyl Friends Perth trip.
Oh, not on the podcast. I think they're recording today. Well, there you go. I said I couldn't do that because I'm here with you guys.
Oh, there we go.
So there you
Priorities.
go.
Wow.
But no, Saturday night with Dyl. It's always good to see Dyl. He's got a great little army of people.
Great guns,
he's got a great little army. So that was great. Joshy Garlop, of course, a former Hard Ball Gets producer.
Yes, look at him fly.
It was fantastic. So I'm bloody tired today, though.
Yeah.
Are you into the Royals?
She's gone, right?
Where is
She's
she?
not
Oh,
there.
you mean Kate Middleton?
Yeah.
Mate, is
this why you're tired?
I was in a web last night. I went to bed so early, the couch, so early last night, and then I was like, I'll just quickly watch one video on TikTok, and the algorithm landed me on a journalist and gave 15 examples of what samples.
Okay, now what I want to hear.
Examples of where she is.
Yeah. What I want to hear is your theory as to where Kate Middleton is. What is her status right now? After all your research, you've done your own, as they like to say.
Well, I think she's had a serious falling out with her own family.
Oh, the Middleton side.
Side.
Yeah.
I think that William is on the edge of the relationship.
As in he wants out?
Yeah, so at the moment he sent out a press release the other day.
Yep.
And just at the top he uses his header thing.
The little emblem thing.
Yeah, emblem.
Yeah.
And he reverted back to his old personal one.
No.
Just the W. Just the W.
No.
So that was one piece of it.
Well, significant.
Where is she?
So where do you think she is?
Well, I don't want to say.
You think she's dead?
What was the helicopter flying in for yesterday?
I don't know about this helicopter.
Removing a body, you
I
reckon?
had no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know.
I did not pick this for you.
No, because I hate the Royals.
Of all the rabbit holes you could have gone down, I did not expect the Royals to
The
be...
picture did it for me. When it was, I was aware of it bubbling around, and the picture came out. I was like, oh no, I'm on board.
What's with the
fake
with
picture,
the weird hands,
and then they
all
pretended like she tried to Photoshop it herself.
Well, then didn't she tweet out or something and just said from C? But it was like, is that really her?
But wouldn't you just put a video up or something to say?
Yeah, I'm all good.
I'm here.
Something's up.
I'm alive. Holding the paper.
The date. And William in the background on the camcorder. So
whatever's going on, it's not just normal.
Do yourself a favour.
I don't want to go down there, because I'll find you down there, it'll be a whole thing.
Well, I'm the one that's presenting now. But I say openly, I can't have the Royals. There's whatever, another family, whatever. I did get flown over for Prince Harry's wedding. Yeah. So as much as I say I hate the Royals, I was front row at the wedding, waving the flag.
It feels like you're into them. But you're at the wedding, and now you're down the Kate Middleton rabbit hole.
But I wasn't down a rabbit hole.
You watched The Crown?
No. But I wasn't down a rabbit hole until that random video popped up last night. And then I'm sending him to M, because again, I'm sleeping on the couch these days. Then I'm sending him to M, and she's like, here, look at this, what's the helicopter doing? Another one. Oh, goodness me, where's Kate Middleton? The timeline. Key dates.
Who's the other bird? There's another bird involved, isn't there?
Yeah, there's someone that they reckon that he's having an affair with.
With the strange name. What's her name?
Right, well, that might be why he's dropped the dual emblem.
Yeah, right.
She's ordered it.
Jeez.
And like what?
There's genetic history.
She had abdominal surgery.
Who, Kate?
Yeah, in what's that? 6 months without being on camera.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We expect AFL footballers to break their leg and try and get up the next week.
Someone needs to pat Kate Middleton going in for scans.
Where's Brendan Cox, the soft cop?
This is not
he should
where
be playing this week.
We're going to get huge numbers on this because the Royals, like, this is now not a footy podcast.
We're pivoting.
We're going to do 2 minutes on each of the Royal family.
Wait till I move in.
Starting with Kate.
You know, my big gripe with the Royals, William, just shave it, mate.
Yeah.
The dome.
Oh, the hair.
Why
Yeah.
he looks like a 55-year-old man. Just shave it.
Something
Whip the
about the
sides
Royals,
off,
they
mate.
don't want to let go of the hair. Just go to Bruce Willis, mate.
And I saw a
Everyone's
picture of
fine with
him
it.
as like a
full Nick
teenager. I was
Rynne.
like, he was a hot fella. And now he just looks horrible.
Yeah.
Get it together, Will.
And I reckon we'll do 2 minutes on the Russian election too, which Vladimir just won.
99.9% of the vote or whatever it
No, I
was.
think he got 88.97% of the vote, and they reckon that before they turned up the bins, the election hadn't even opened, and the bins were full of votes.
What about, where's those 11% gone? That's what I want to know.
It's now officially 100%.
You wouldn't want to put your name on the 11%, mate.
There was 3 other candidates apparently,
They're all mailing.
and they're gone.
They're gone.
They're
gone.
gone. Like the other bloke who just went 3 weeks ago. He's gone.
No one asks. He's with Kate Middleton. They're hanging out somewhere.
All on gardening leave.
Wow.
I don't know what to do with the start of this. I had,
Well, you had notes?
Crabfest was all I had.
Yeah.
We've
No,
gone-
I've been well behaved this week.
Oh, good.
Very well
No,
behaved.
there's nothing on the. I actually was going to bring it up in a different way because I'm now starting to get concerned, Nick. Because if you notice the lack of traffic on our man's social
Yeah, I
media,
have actually. It's been
now,
pulled back.
does this mean that he's no
coming up.
longer influencing?
Well, it's coming into winter and the sports nuts
Well-
has got to go.
well-
no.
Well, hold on a minute. Let's go to the soda stream. What happens here is that with influencers, this is how I imagine the market works. A new fresh face pops up and everyone gets very excited. Hey, we've got to have a piece of this.
Yeah.
We need a piece of Xavier Ellis. He's hot right now. He's the everyman. And then after he's flogged himself around town for this, that, and the other, getting free groceries and a couple of beers here
Pull
or
it
there.
back.
Remember those barrels? Those barrels he was advertising. Remember them?
Oh, yeah. That was
keg
40, that was
barrels or
40,
whatever they
wasn't
were.
it?
I can't even remember them.
That was 40.
Put Zoo, everything. There was all kinds.
Oh, yeah, the BYO kegs. The kegs on legs.
There was all those, and now he's oversaturated himself. So now we're not seeing anything. So the influencing, it's close.
Still getting enough traction recently. That's,
What's that
that's
one?
last week's
What's
video.
this one?
Just a paint little office work.
Oh, you got
thing.
128,000 for Office Works.
Still going okay.
Okay, Office. So it's now maybe it's just more subtle now. We have to look
Yeah,
through.
no.
we're not quite
He's going
picking
to
it
launch
up.
a PR thing where he's going to disappear like Kate Middleton. People, where's Xavier Ellis gone?
Yeah.
3 months later, he's a hot new thing.
He's at
again.
Office Works.
He's at Office Works.
All of a sudden, you see me in 3 months. I'm 13 kilos lighter, and I'm Jenny Craig. That's the build-up.
All right, footy's back on the weekend properly.
Officially.
Who wants to go first?
Are we just picking a team
Just
again?
pick a team, yeah.
You want to go, Zay?
I'll go. Let's go with the Essendon Football Club straight off the bat. What year is it for Jake Stringer?
Oh, good guess.
Contract
Is it a contract year?
Contract year for Jakey boy.
Is it
yeah.
already again?
He's kicked 4, so well done to him.
He's gonna kick 6.
Here
Good
he
strong
comes.
start. He'll
He's
win the
going to
Brownlow
kick
this
60.
year.
No, hold on, because they'll start negotiating in about around the bye.
Yeah.
So he'll probably get 40 up till the bye and then about 4 after that.
I was listening to the commentary on the weekend and they said, you know what Jake Stringer needs this year? He needs a year where he's fit. And then he goes, and I don't mean not injured either. I mean fit as in not fat. Anyway, so yeah, Jake Stringer.
It's the year.
Hey, quick shout out Langford, who did it last year, their leading goal kicker. Do you know who he reminds me of? A little bit of a miss, Jai miss. They don't need a lot of football. Like, he had 7 disposals, 3 goals again on the weekend. He'll end up kicking 50, no
Having
dramas.
impact.
Yeah, okay.
Archie Perkins.
Yeah, very interesting.
So
Very
Archie
handsome.
Perkins in 2021, how many games did he have with 20 disposals or more?
I want to say 4.
In 2021.
2021, yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah, 2021.
I don't know. None.
1.
Yeah.
2022,
Maybe 1.
1. 2023,
I'll give him 3.
3.
Oh, okay.
So he's only had 5 games with over 20 disposals. Round 1 comes out as 24 and kicks 2, 12 tackles. Archie Perkins, is this the time, and you know I'm not the big parish man, but is this the time where they go, look, Darcy, appreciate it, you're still in the team, still a good player, but Archie Perkins doesn't leave that role now, surely?
You would hope not.
Surely.
Yeah, it's tough because they won the game.
Because then we bitch and moan that those players, young kids haven't come on.
This is the problem with names.
Hard to
though.
come on
Darcy
when
Parish is a really good player. I know you're not a
There's
huge
got to be
fan.
someone else that they can push out, right?
Yeah,
Because Darcy Parish can't do anything else.
Well, we've been trying to work out who the third guy is, whether it's
Merritt
Hobbs or
can't.
Durham. Or,
yeah, Merritt doesn't go.
maybe it's the three of them: Perkins, Parish, and Merritt.
Yeah.
And then you have your Hobbs and Durhams
all I'm
and
saying
these guys
is
coming through.
give
stringing.
Perkins 12 weeks and let us form an opinion on how he's going.
No, we like him. Can I just say
Just
to
like him.
obviously an Essendon fan,
Were we hard off him last week?
Yeah, I was just saying.
Archie, yeah.
Yeah.
The Essendon fan who hit me up and is giving me shit about the fact that I said that they'd only win 5 games for the year and they've already won 1.
Yeah.
This was one of the 5 that I tipped them
Yeah,
for, by the way.
yeah.
And also, I don't think they'll win 5. That's just what the ladder predictor said. It was the numbers. I don't make the numbers up.
But you have to click it.
I'm a Hawks man. $1.86 for Essendon was inviting.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I thought they would win that game. Okay, I'll go next. Let's go to Port Adelaide because that was. How do you feel about that win for Port? Because 50 points. We'll talk about the Eagles
It's
later.
kind of a nothing
50
game,
points. They lost. The second quarter was where they did most of the damage. Eagles trailed by 5 at quarter time. Third quarter was a point difference. Fourth quarter was a few goals. So it wasn't overly convincing for Port. Although they didn't quite kick straight and all that sort of
They
stuff.
broke the record for the most behinds ever in a
so,
Port Adelaide game.
Is that right?
Ever.
Is that right?
It should have
They should
been
have destroyed 'em.
Should have been 75, 80 plus.
Yeah, okay.
And
an
I reckon
accurate
at the end of the game, you go, how did Rosie play?
Yeah, well.
How did Butters play?
Very well.
Soldo?
Excellent.
First
He's got Soldo's my next point. Very, very good. Couple of goals, 28 hit-outs. Always in the shadows of Nankervis. And I did have to laugh this pre-season when people were like, is it going to be Soldo or Sweet? I'm like, how about the bloke who's played
No, I think they started that.
quite a lot
Though.
of
They
footy?
started that.
Yeah.
Because Sweet was the one that they wanted
Because he was VFL
first. He was in the
numbers
bright
were huge.
lights.
But he
so-
also wanted to come back because he's South Australian boy. I think he wanted
Yeah,
to.
no, but that's
he wasn't
why,
getting
that's
picked
why
at
we
English.
thought it was a toss-up because they're like, we're after Sweet.
They were building up the competition.
Yeah.
Well,
And then Soldo popped
that was
up.
the one, remember, they signed Sweet. And everyone's like, hey, good opportunity for Jordan Sweet. And then 3 days later, like,
Soldo.
and we also got Soldo.
And it's apparently it is Ivan or Ivan.
Ivan. isn't it?
Ivan.
Ivan.
And apparently very quick to correct you if you've got the wrong.
yeah, we wouldn't mess with him.
No, very.
Same as
Sorry,
Ivan Marek. Remember Ivan Marek? He was a big boy
Mad
too.
man,
Yeah.
had the mullet forever.
If your
Were
name's
they-
Ivan, then you're tough.
Were they
You
cousins
can't be
or something?
soft and
They-
be Ivan.
I think
There's a relation there,
It
isn't
could
there?
be something. Well, yeah, not sure.
Really?
I think so. Or they're definitely Marek and someone else who came to the system, and I thought it was Soldo.
Just because their first names are both Ivan, that's not how it works, you know.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, good point.
They got Richmond this week too, so pretty handy start. You go
Yeah.
from West Coast to Richmond, who we think will be 2 of the bottom 3 teams.
Yeah.
Early stages, I know, but that's a pretty good start for Port Adelaide.
You take that, absolutely.
I'll go with Gold Coast. So it's a bizarre game where we've always talked about them having to own that kind of slippery, yuck Gold Coast weather sometimes.
Yeah, the grossness.
Which they did until the last 10 minutes when everything turned on its head. But the one I want to talk about
The
is...
score was heavily inflated. Gold Coast were.
Oh, yeah, they were...
Gold Coast were.
They had control of the
always-
contest.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, which is concerns for Adelaide, but that obviously comes later. So Matt Rowell, the question, so 2 weeks, he's probably best on ground or close to it. That's 29, 29 on the weekend and 10 clearances.
He wouldn't have had 29 or 32 off the mat round.
Nah.
No,
He's
well,
always
that's it.
done a
And
lot
the
of
week
grunt
before,
work.
he's done 33 with 20.
Yeah.
Was that 20 clearances that week?
He's back.
He's back. But yeah, that's what, I don't know, does he have... So most of his possessions are still contested. I think he had 20 plus in both those weeks. Well, we're contested, and he gets a handful of uncontested
Well,
possessions.
it lets Miller and Anderson
Well,
and
that's-
Flanders screwed off pretty
And
quick.
Fiorini's playing good footy too.
And so this is just his role now, right? He's the inside man. He does the hard yards. He gets it out to them. They go with it. And it probably works best for them. But does he have another level, or is this? He's very good at the moment. Is this the ceiling? Is
he
this
does
him?
have another level. I mean, he's
He's
number
only
one
twice.
draft
He's
pick.
only twice had 30 touches in his career.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And were they in his first few games as well?
No, one was in his last game. So apart from this season,
Yeah.
one was in the last game against North Melbourne they played.
Yeah, okay.
And then the other one was earlier in his career. Yeah,
So it was all these sort of 26s and stuff, right?
a lot of 26s.
He definitely has another level. We've seen this and
lot
the
of high
flashes of
teens.
it. So he could absolutely still get to the A grade.
How good do you think his first?
he's probably A grade
remember his
right now
first
for
3
that.
games.
Yeah, he had 9 votes,
yeah.
didn't he? Or 8 votes?
Yeah, there was a 26 and 2 in there, then 20 and 2, 20 and 2. I thought they were like 30.
It was the way he was doing it. I remember they
yeah.
were shortest games
Oh, they
too
were
because
too.
that was
They
the
were too.
COVID year.
But this
too.
is I think he's at an A grade level at the moment in that role as an inside midfielder. But he's not getting as many cheapies outside.
Who
than
would you
he played
rather,
his
Matt
numbers.
Rowell or Jack Steele?
Matt Rowell.
Matt Rowell.
Just because of the age difference.
No, this year, then, right now.
Oh, out of the first, Jack Steele's only
it's
played
still
one
Matt
game.
Rowell. Still Matt Rowell. Yep. Is that me?
No,
it's back to you, Zave.
Let's go GWS Giants. Again, another game that they probably should have won by a little bit further. 17 scoring shots to...
Yeah, some of us had the over 40 and they kicked 0 goals 8 or something in the last
17 scoring shots to 36. Again, I want to highlight the Twin Towers, Buckley and Taylor. 8 contested marks between them.
Yep.
It's meant to be the other way around.
Yeah.
The forwards are meant to be taking it.
That's so true.
So if Sam Taylor and Buckley went forward, would you reckon that'd be effective randomly?
Yeah.
They'd mark everything, wouldn't
Absolutely.
they?
Yeah.
Okay, I never thought about it. Hey, West Coast have scored 100 points once in the last couple of years. Can you remember when it was?
Was it against GWS?
Was it against the Giants last year?
GWS, last year they scored 100 on the knocker.
Taylor didn't
wasn't
play.
playing.
Round 2, the Giants lost. They went on to play in a prelim. We'll talk about how that possibly happened. No Whitfield, no Kelly, no Taylor.
Yeah.
And West Coast were okay. But the line this week's 44.5.
Yep.
I have fears for West Coast
I would imagine that...
because I think they're humming at the moment.
I
the
would
Giants.
imagine that the Giants have this one written on the board and say, this should not have happened last year. We embarrassed ourselves. Every other team beat the living daylights out of these guys, and we went over there and lost.
Yeah.
So I would imagine...
The record over here can't be flash.
No, I mean, I don't have it off
wouldn't
the top of my chest.
No.
But I reckon... I reckon they're in for a big one this week. They are humming right now, the Giants.
They're so slick, aren't they? As soon as they get that kick out of the back, it's just ping, 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 goal.
And the one player I was keen to follow, Phoenix
Yeah,
Gothard. The kid that got drafted from nowhere.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder where he is. He's got glandular
injured, isn't
fever.
he?
Yeah, he's not playing. Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, him and the Darcy Jones as well. I really want to see Darcy
Well, they've
Jones
still
get
got
up and
guys
about.
coming back in.
But I
That's
just
the
want
thing.
that. I want that Phoenix because obviously GWS go. We've got so much talent. We may as well throw a couple of
I love that.
aim at the high ceiling.
Yep.
But anyway, glandular fever. So he is not to be seen, indefinitely out.
Are
But,
they your early...
I'm Sydney still.
You're still Sydney?
I'm still Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney.
Jeez, wouldn't the AFL just love it all? New South
Well, they all
Wales.
hate it.
Mate, they just moved the whole league up there for
Yeah, I know, but what would the
round
eyes,
zero.
What would the eyes do for the audience and
Wouldn't,
stuff?
mate, because Melbourne's people are going to
People are
watch it
gonna watch it
anyway.
anyway.
We're
Just
going to
add
watch it
ones.
anyway.
What if it was
The
GWS
South
and
Australians are
Brisbane?
going to watch it anyway. I think Sydney, Collingwood,
Or Sydney.
Collingwood is their ideal
hotspot.
grand final, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
Just pure eyeballs.
Yeah.
But as I say, if you had New South Wales 2 teams, you're still going to get all of Victoria watching that game. I guarantee it. The numbers would be record breaking.
Right.
Okay.
Good one.
Speaking of record breaking, Jack Billings, 15 marks,
Oh, yeah, what the
career
hell?
high.
Wow.
Career high.
This is a bloke who couldn't get in the starting 18.
Well, he started as
year
the
before.
sub last week.
Yeah.
And barely had an influence at all. I think he. Yeah,
It's
couple of
strange to
kicks.
do that. You got not a kid, a young guy who's determined to prove that he can play. And
Interesting
you make him
move.
sub. I don't know. I would have just fed him to the Wolves and said good luck.
Well, he came out 23 touches, career high 15 marks, 5 tackles, kicked a goal. He was that best version of Jack Billings where he's just running all day,
Made some
up
strong
and down the
tackles.
wing and half forward. He's he's the link man.
Yeah.
15 marks is a lot.
Imagine doing that in the grand final.
Oh, well, the space there. This guy. How many did you have? Was it 15? What was it? Like 14.
40.
Well, there's space on that MCG wing.
Yeah,
Like when Langdon's still okay, but when he first came over and you're like, man, Ed Langdon's having a heap of the footy.
Well, he did what
Like,
Brayshaw did remember when Brayshaw got to the wide spaces out of the midfield and he was having huge marks.
Cade Simpson used to do it. Remember, a mate of mine's in Carlton supporter. He used to say Cade Simpson's building a house out on that wing.
Yeah.
Because there's literally no one anywhere near him. He gets 10, 15 marks a game just streaming up and down. So hats off to Jack Billings. And another one, Tom McDonald. We kind of wrote him off 2 weeks ago, but to see him down back again, playing in that natural role for him, took 10 marks, 18 touches, and he was having a genuine influence on the game.
I'm still not convinced by anything that
In Melbourne.
the Melbourne players, of course, Gawn, Clary, Petrarca.
Yeah.
Convinced did you'll ever get on those?
Yeah.
Just the mix of talls is just
Oh, it's still not right, but nice to see Tom McDonald have an influence.
okay.
I thought he deserved.
I want to see 6 weeks of it down back doing it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we want to see some consistency.
Yeah.
Van Rooyen was pretty quiet. Somehow got 3 goals in the end.
There's a fair bit of that on the weekend.
Yeah.
Blokes that were quiet who ended up kicking
Bob
through.
up, kick a few.
There's a couple of Joe Gooses on the goal line. Logan McDonald.
Yeah, Logan had 4.
Oh, Joe the Goose. A turnover, he's in the goal square.
Yeah.
A free kick advantage in the goal square.
You take him. You take him.
Speaking of people who weren't getting a lot of Joe the Goose over the top, so Fremantle, Josh Tracy. I just wanted to shout out for him for his game on the weekend. It felt like when that game turned, Josh Tracy was the one who was in absolutely everything.
Yeah, he was good.
Tough.
So how
It's
did
tough.
you watch that whole Fremantle game, and the thing you're taking away is Josh
Well, no,
Tracy?
Caleb
Now, I
Sarong's the
thought-
obvious one here.
I thought Josh Tracy was fantastic, but there's about 30 things to talk about.
Yeah.
That's the one. He's the one who stood out. He's the bloke who sort of, to me,
Stood out.
Well, no, Sarong stood out, but you know, Sarong. You knew Sarong could do that.
Ordered him.
I probably didn't know. So Sarong had 46.
Tracy was good. I liked
21
Tracy's game.
clearances.
Yeah.
That's the thing that stuck out the most to me because I didn't expect that from him. Caleb Sarong, like those numbers, phenomenal, like more than expected, but not. You don't fall off
Record-breaking.
your seat.
46 touches.
46 touches, 20 odd clear,
More than any
20
other
odd
docker
contested
ever.
possessions. Yeah, by two,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Peter Bell and David Mundy.
That's correct.
Alex
Alex Pearce was brilliant.
Pearce was brilliant.
Spoke about that this
We
morning,
did,
didn't we?
yes. He was very, very good.
When
But
the
no,
chips were down, and I've been a bit critical of Alex Pearce at times, trying to do, as your captain, trying to Mr. Fix everything that's happening.
Yeah.
And at times last year, would be calling the games. And before you know it, he's had two kicked on him like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, that hasn't helped anything.
So you've been a hater on Fremantle. Do you,
That's
after
bullshit.
watching that game?
That's bullshit.
After watching that game yesterday,
You bought a membership just so you could hate him more.
No. I've been a member for a while. I'm off this year, though, I'm not.
after watching that game, do you feel better about them for the year?
Yeah.
Down
yeah.
4 goals early from some dumb
that was-
mistakes.
that was great.
Undermanned against a very good team.
I've massive alarms going off at Brisbane. I've put in chats some really outrageous comments about Brisbane. Fremantle, brilliant. The conversation I write in my column tomorrow is all the Fremantle supporters I sit around with always fall back to, our midfield's great. And my point is everyone's got a good midfield. Every single team's got
Yeah.
a good midfield.
Yeah.
They don't have anyone that separates them above a good midfielder. I think Sarong now, this year,
He
is
can.
going to be that. He's better than a good midfielder
Yeah,
that
he was
everyone's
excellent.
got.
Yeah.
And this is not just off the recency of yesterday.
Last year,
It's
there was a
also
building.
hand in the pocket at $36 for the Brownlow. Let's go.
Josh Tracy was very good though.
Josh Tracy was very good.
That's,
Kick
three.
three.
Kick three.
that's
Kick
the
three,
version
he-
of Josh Tracy that will be a very good piece for Fremantle.
And this is what Crashing Packs created. That one
Yeah.
for Cox. Got the one to Amos
Just
in
be
the
a big
pocket.
giant nuisance.
Yeah.
Like,
Their keys can kick too.
they can.
Miss
Yep,
and,
yep. And Tracy.
And Tracy, of
Yep,
course.
Yep.
Carlton Footy Club. Rewind to halfway through last year, and I think we had Voss sacked, Cripper traded back to Perth,
Yeah.
Sam Walsh refusing to play with a sore back.
Yep.
Harry
That-
Mackay needing an amputation.
Harry Mackay, no good. Put him back in the twos or play him in defence. I didn't have in my bingo cards their last 6 wins being Brisbane by a point, Richmond by 5, Melbourne by 2, Sydney by 6, Gold Coast by 4, Melbourne by 4. I had them as not quitters, but I didn't think they had this in them where they are
tight
now
wins.
the Collingwood of the last 2 seasons. I worry about their depth a little bit. I don't think they can lose Doherty, Walsh, and more.
Yeah.
And their forwards are so dependent on Charlie and, of course, Harry. And the midfielders piping up for a couple of goals here and there. Brilliant start. They need Sam Walsh back, I think. They need just something a little bit
The
unusual
midfield's
in
a
that
little
midfield.
exposed without the class of
It
those
is,
two.
it is.
Definitely.
I think that's the only thing. They've got the bye now, which is spot on.
Perfect timing for
Perfect
them.
timing.
And that's a small red flag. I mean, people say I'm Carlton hater, but like they probably should have put away Richmond with all the injuries and stuff they were having, particularly
Oh,
early.
massive. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
They should have
No,
won
that's
that
why
game by 4 to 6
That's why
goals.
I'm not humming on them
Yeah.
and being how
Yeah.
I'm thinking, gee whiz, maybe they're a little bit thin at the back end.
Yeah.
Injuries reason why
I think
they've
we've
lost 2 of their
always
best.
thought that their talent tends to overwhelm,
Yeah.
and not necessarily the way they play. So that's still a flag. But their
Chera-
talent is still elite.
Chera had a good year last year.
Yeah.
What a good chance to just
Yes,
pop up one little.
This is a big moment for
Yeah.
him. It
I'd
is.
like to do an audit of first 18 or 18 players on the field, the number of players that you've got with a 40 on the back, a 40-something. So that's always a bit of a red flag. You've got too many players
Oh,
wearing
yeah,
the number in the
yeah.
40s.
You're diving
Your depth
deep.
isn't so great.
Yeah.
And they've got a few.
Let me check.
Is this me?
Yeah.
Okay. Richmond. Noah Bolter. 3
Yeah.
goals, 9 marks. There's something there.
And then
right?
they needed him. He went where they needed him.
Yeah, he's
right?
big
Yeah.
and he's strong and he's powerful. I like it. It's a thing. Noah Bolter. They're 0-2. They could have easily won that game. And hats off to him for putting in the effort. You tipped him. You went a little bit rogue.
And that was probably because they had to switch Bolter back, didn't they, just to cover?
Yeah,
Where he was
they're-
going so well
So
forward.
they got Port Adelaide this week. We're staring down the barrel of potentially 0-3.
Port at the G.
Yeah, it's at the G. So there's some chance. I mean, they play the way they did against Carlton, but the under was 9.5. The over under, and that felt like high at the time, didn't
Yeah.
it?
Let me just quickly keep talking. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to count how many premiership players they've got.
Oh, okay. Well, Dion Prestia was the
Richmond.
other one. Dion Prestia, guess what? Did his hammy.
Jeez, Hammy.
It's like
They talked
death
about
and
managing
taxes.
him already.
Yeah.
But again, but those 30 plus year olds, so he obviously did his hammy. The other ones did enough. You know, it was kind of that, we talked about it being that West Coast way of needing the 30 pluses to fire.
Dan Curvis was great. Dustin Martin was great. Tom Lynch was very good, particularly early. Got a couple
presence.
of very good free kicks.
Yeah.
14 premiership players still in that
Is that
side.
right?
14 of them.
Do you mean on the list
No,
or
played
played?
the other night. 14.
Wow, that's stunning.
Yeah, 14 of them. But Prestia now is at the stage where I don't know if you can play him.
Yeah.
You can't keep losing a
yeah.
player. And that was, I had soft tissue issues.
Yep.
And that was what I felt so horrible was you're getting subbed off
Yeah.
just after quarter time. I reckon it happened to me six times.
Did you ever go into a coach and say, look, I don't think my body's up to it, or was that the final decision?
I think a final decision.
Yeah, so you just
final
knew.
decision.
I can't
See
keep
you
getting
later.
out there.
I'm done.
I'll just
I've
keep
wasted
getting-
everyone's time.
Yeah.
But Prestia, unfortunately, was a fantastic footballer during their
Absolutely,
peak.
yeah.
So it's hard to go, Dion Prestia is available, but
Yeah.
we can't pick him straight. Like, he needs to go play 4 weeks in the VFL.
Yeah.
At 100%, like 100% of his normal game time, to then tick that box because it is such a disadvantage when that sub gets triggered so early.
And it happens a lot with him.
Yeah, I'd
Feels
love
like it happens every
a
time.
handful of times, I reckon, recently. Yeah.
We will talk about Brisbane now. So the Ruckman had 13 contested possessions. Who do you think had the next best? I'll tell you who it was.
Contested.
Tell me how many do you think he had? It was Josh Dunkley was the next best contested for Brisbane.
Wow, it mustn't be 10 then if you're saying it's maybe 7.
No, it was 9.
Nine.
Okay.
But it was sort of 9, and then the next two were Lincoln McCarthy and Eric Hipwood, who had 8 and 8.
Yeah,
so if you
wow.
only got one person who goes anywhere near the midfield
Yeah.
having 9.
I could have said Dunkley didn't play yesterday.
yeah.
I did not see him.
Yeah, ended up with a heap of the footy, but
just didn't
not
see it.
impactful touches.
They are as bland as any side in the competition at the moment. We said it last week.
Without
Losing Kitty,
big loss.
and even that they were bland, which
Yeah.
bland worked for them. Just getting to that normal routine of just,
Who are you more concerned? Like, if you had to put your life on either Collingwood or Brisbane missing the 8,
Brisbane.
Brisbane.
I know.
reckon?
I'm thinking they're
Yeah,
bland
right.
as. Like yesterday, I know they won the inside 50s in the end. But can you remember, other than the first 15 minutes of football, I mean, they went two and a bit quarters of not kicking a goal again.
those
They went
first
over a
three-
half game
The
and not
15
kicking a
minutes
goal.
was deceiving because
Yeah.
there was the
Fremantle
Matty
let 'em
Johnson
in.
punch through. There was
Yeah.
the silly 50 from Hayden Young
in the
There were
middle.
bad
And there was another-
turnovers in the middle, like missed kicks.
Really dumb stuff from Fremantle rather than good play from Brisbane.
Yeah, no, it was
And at the
so
end-
weighted in Fremantle's favour, where you
Yeah.
thought, shit, they've given them 4 goals head start.
Yeah.
No one in the stadium
think-
would have put their hand up and said Fremantle win from here.
No, sometimes we overreact to personnel. I reckon we're like, oh, this bloke, they're going to fall off the tree. But sometimes it does actually equate. Like Kitty, in what he does for them, he's the only one who goes and takes the game on the headless
Well,
chook.
looked
Zorko
like-
did it late a couple of times.
Zorko-
And
yeah.
Calamar Chi looked like he was trying
But
to
then
do that.
also-
He
Zorko
was
kicks
back
it
as well.
beautifully. And
Yeah,
so
oh,
does
yeah.
Kitty. You need someone who not only wants to take it on, because there's
Can
people
use
who
it.
take it on and then cook it.
Yeah.
But then there's people who take it on and actually 9 times out of 10. I think Clark used to call it 80-20.
And then Lachie Neal's the other one. He's the best clearance player in the AFL.
Yeah, Brownlow
he's
medals,
2-time
Tom
Brownlow medals.
Yeah.
So you lose those 2 guys. They're probably 1 and 2 on the list of guys you can't have, and Danaher's probably
Yeah.
3rd on
Charlie
the 3
Cameron
most
as well.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, he just couldn't get near it.
Nah, could not get near it.
Oh, hats off to Jordan Clark. That was
Yeah.
he did very well. Was that?
Yeah,
who
me.
Was that? Was that Richmond? No, we did Richmond.
No, Brisbane.
Okay.
Hawthorn Football Club, disappointing. Again, they got the injuries and stuff. James Sicily.
Have you seen it now?
I haven't seen
I
it,
have
Kids.
seen it.
You hadn't seen it this
I have
morning, and I
seen
tried
it.
to describe it, and I said it was like, you know, in your house where you pick up the rolled up socks and you just have a little kick.
Yeah, on the
he
way
did that,
past.
but to Andrew McGrath.
Yeah,
like it was
but it's
bizarre.
also a bit like it was a trip. Like when you
was
be a
super
smart
weird.
ass, you try and hook your leg and then throw them backwards.
I missed the kick. I saw him like get under and ragdoll him a little bit.
I'll
but
ask
I
you
didn't
this.
see it later.
If I'd said to you, this is going to happen on the weekend, give me 3 guesses. I reckon you would have
Who does
guessed
it?
Sicily or Toby Green.
Yeah, Sicily Toby.
And then who would the third one have been?
Is there another
Someone.
Mad Dog somewhere?
Some Redmond. Probably Redmond.
Yeah, Mad Dog got a
Redmond.
week.
Done for a week.
Mad Dog got a week.
So
No,
he's
Red Dog
accepted
got a
the week, but
Yes.
Sicily's fighting it.
Yeah, so back to Hawthorn. So Sicily, I'm pretty biased.
Yeah.
I know that. He's one
Yeah.
of my favourite players. But he's the captain now. If you're Sam Mitchell, round 1, you're already defenderless.
Yeah.
And it didn't help him on the weekend. He got beaten convincingly, and the commentators are saying it's one of the worst games we've seen
Yeah.
Sicily play. How's Sam Mitchell approaching that? I know
So-
it's only week 1.
So there were flags because they lost all those key backs, and it was like Sicily's going to have to be more accountable.
Yeah.
It's not really his thing. His thing is to be a McGovern type, right?
Yeah.
Where you just like, I'll just do what I want to do.
I'll get a 30 going that way, and
Correct.
if you kick 2 that way, we'll take it.
Yeah, and not to say he's soft or unaccountable. He's tough, and
I love him.
But he needs to play that role. But can he still do that without anybody?
Not at the moment. They got no one else to sort of sit on people.
Yeah. I just wonder, like, because if you take the Mad Dog out of Sicily, out of Redmond, out of Toby Green, like, you obviously want to tweak it a little bit so they're not in and out.
No, you need that in them.
You do. So, like, as a Sam Mitchell say, what the f*** are you doing?
Yeah.
Or say, I expect that to happen twice a year.
I don't think you mind it in the moment, but like that wasn't
the kick on the way down. Just probably didn't need.
That was so dumb.
But now we're heading off to, I say, where Hawks are off to play Melbourne at the G, so they need talls. We've just gone through Ben Brown, Van Rooyen.
Well, he might get off. He might get off.
Yeah, fingers crossed for me.
Is it me? Yes, St Kilda. So went down to Geelong, lost relatively close game. I didn't see much of this one, but I did look back at the mini. Bonner everywhere, 28 disposals,
yes.
Clear direction to give him the footy.
Correct.
Like, clear direction. He was the guy.
Well, he kicks it so beautiful.
He's a beautiful kick of the footy.
Same
I always
with
liked him
Miller.
Yeah, I kind of always liked him at Port.
He had some big games
He
at
did,
Port.
yeah, every now but
out of the blue.
He just wasn't as good as Dan Houston. So it was like, where there's only really
and
space.
Burton plays there as well.
So
and
there's
even
not
Darcy
space.
Burton-Jones got moved in the end.
Yeah,
he was definitely a double take. Like when he came up to the trade, one you like look back on and go, "What?
Oh, right.
I didn't even know he was there.
Yeah.
Did not even know.
Yeah, and that's what Ross does. He gets a guy and he goes, right, you're good at this.
Yeah.
You're going to just do this.
But I mean, even like just the fact that Port Adelaide would consider it, like in the back of your head, you think, oh, Riley Bonner's pretty good.
Yeah. We'll just pick him up. Jack Steele, good to see him bouncing back, 25 and 6 tackles. So for me, like just from the parts that I saw, it did seem that, we talk about Brad Hill, we talk about Liam Henry, we talk about Wangani Miller. They didn't have enough of the dash and the dare that we need to see from St Kilda to be good.
They're too boring.
Well, yeah, and even, his first game, Darcy Wilson, he had some moments, but it was like what we were expecting for them to be quick and to take the game on, and they
Geelong's
couldn't do
hard
that.
to be quick.
I was going to say that it might have been more what Geelong were doing.
No, but the ground too.
Yeah, right.
Just that thinner.
Yeah,
like all of a sudden, a bit like the rugby league that went to Vegas. You thin the game a bit, and all of a sudden you're defending less space.
Yep.
You're running into brick walls.
It's a lot harder to run and gun and take, and that's why Geelong was so good at the way they could do run and gun there in their prime time. Because if you can do it there, what happens on the MCG when you got more space to do it? How good's that?
They did the
Suddenly
annoying.
laughing.
St Kilda did the annoying. Lance Collard makes his debut. You're the sub. You come on like a little bit in the last quarter.
Should be illegal.
I don't know what it does for his development either. Like
Should be illegal.
Full game of twos.
It gets a matchy.
Oh well, that's okay. There you go.
It's a matchy.
I don't know. Don't like it.
Is it on to me? Sort of same game, and I think this is the one most people didn't see a lot of. Like if you're not a Geelong or St Kilda fan, right? I think it's a general vibe.
I would have watched it over
Gold Coast Adelaide
in the rain, in the wet,
you would be switching back and
and
forth. But Patrick Dangerfield he's not going to die quietly, is he?
He played well.
33 years old, 25 disposals, 8 clearances, kicked the ceiling goal.
That was a free kick, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
I just saw Twitter that it was like, that's not a free kick, that's bullshit,
Probably St Kilda fans.
Yeah.
There's a bit of that. But yeah, they just look like, I don't know if this opinion of St Kilda, but yeah, they look like two solid bottom half of the 8 teams. Like, you still high? How high are you on Geelong?
No, they'll make the finals.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, that bottom half of the 8.
Yeah, no, they'll make the finals.
Those two,
They'll do what they did on Saturday night another 10 times.
You're right, you've hit the nut, because there's about 6 teams in that space of just complete middle of the range teams.
Yeah.
And Geelong and St Kilda are firmly in that space.
They're probably at the top. They're the most solid, like you wouldn't, peaks and troughs wouldn't happen. You'd expect them to be solidly
There's
in
so
that
many
most of
teams
the
in that
time.
space.
And if you operate there long enough, like sometimes you pinch one, right?
Yep. I like Dolly Dempsey.
Ollie Dempsey was good.
Yeah, is he the rising star this week?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Sometimes Geelong have those like rookies who's like
McCurchis-
24 years old.
Well, yeah.
Is he eligible?
Brother-in-law has put Dempsey into our syndicate for Rising Star.
Really?
Yeah, kicked 3.
For the year?
Yeah, well, no, the young kids shot out of the blocks, did they?
Well, yeah, but he's up
Collingwood.
against...
No, but I'm just saying, but yeah, at the moment you might get the nomination and you're in the draw.
Oh, so
you're in the draw. You're in the draw,
You're
mate.
one of 23.
You're in the chocolate.
No, he was good. He was handy. I kind of always liked him a little bit because he has that touch around goal and he's a little bit... And you're like, oh, he's this kid. So I think that's real with him. I think he's going to be a legitimate player this year. and be in their side and hopefully kick 30, 35 goals
And they
as
had
a
blokes
dangerous
like,
small forward.
Tanner Bruhn getting more times and more touches. Like,
Yeah.
They're starting to sort of that next generation
Max
starting to come
Holmes
through
was
there.
good.
Holmes
Max
very
Holmes good.
Yeah, we saw some
And
flashes.
I love seeing him interviewed. Like he just loves life.
Yeah, happy
Smiles
guy.
and tries to tell a story. He finds funny. It's bloody great. I like him. To be fair. North Melbourne Footy Club. Now I'm slightly flat here. So Aidan Core is 29 years old, Nick.
Oh, really?
He's 29.
I was surprised by that.
Paid a fortune.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's 29. The second oldest player, and this is Liam Shields, was the sub. So
Don't include
And
me.
he's 43.
And Pup might find Sarong this week, I reckon. That might be a reasonable head-to-head. Anyway, so 29-year-old is Core.
Yep.
He was the oldest.
Yep.
Second oldest player for North on the weekend.
On the weekend,
Go.
I'm going to guess Zach Fisher. Like he'd be like 25, 26.
Close. Darcy Tucker, 26 years old. If they didn't pick Core, their oldest player would have been 26.
And Core almost didn't get up, I don't think.
Well, he
'cause
almost wasn't.
Didn't play.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Well, in for whatever reason, but in for form as well. How good at North Melbourne? They've been kicked and they've had 1,000 draft picks, so they're on their journey. But I would have just not picked Core, so I can sell to the members.
With the youngest list in country mile.
Name a team that's played with 26 being your oldest player.
Yeah, that's probably never happened. I can't think of.
What would the average age of the list be? Normally it's around that 23
Well, people
mark,
would say,
isn't it?
I thought when you asked me the other day, I saw the Giants, but you're
That's
right.
why I left him out in the
Chad
answers, 'cause I'm talking-
Corns and
McDonald.
James McDonald and Dean Brogan
Yeah,
and all those
yeah.
dudes were playing. So you always had at least one old man.
Yeah.
Even Gold Coast, who didn't have as many old guys, they
And
still
Nathan
had Campbell
Bach,
Brown and
Campbell
Nathan
Brown.
Bach and
Jared
Gary
Brennan.
Ablett, Jared Brennan.
Jared Brennan.
They were probably all around the
70.
25, 26,
Yeah.
27 mark at that point.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there was someone we're forgetting that was 100 years old.
I think
probably-
Brogan was pretty old by that. No, sorry, I'm talking about GWS.
Yeah.
They had someone.
They would have had someone. Who
about close?
rucked?
For Gold Coast, wasn't it Zach Smith?
Yeah.
Zach Smith was their
Yeah.
ruckman in the first
Yeah.
year. So that might be the one if we're looking for it.
If they go, they would go close.
Because Ablett would have been about 26, 27 at that point.
You would
Remember we
imagine
thought
so.
it was all over for Geelong and all over for Gary when they split?
Yeah.
Gary played the best season I've ever seen.
What a Brownlow.
Do yourself a favour
Yeah.
and go back and look at his season he did his shoulder in. Where he
It was that game against Collingwood, I remember, and specifically,
Yeah.
where he was
But-
just unbelievable.
when he was unbackable for the Brownlow until he busted his shoulder.
Yeah.
Go through the numbers there, and then Geelong won the flag that year.
Yeah, that's right.
Without Gaz.
Everything went good. And he went back. Me? St Kilda,
Yeah.
I've done. Western Bulldogs, my last team. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Sydney, Port Adelaide. Oh, I haven't done Sydney
No,
yet.
you got
I
two.
haven't done Sydney yet. The Western Bulldogs. So, as soon as the team was named, like, I think we all saw it coming. We were like, Bevo's going to do some stuff here. Like, Bevo's going to throw
Josh
in...
Fraser.
Oh, yeah, Josh Fraser.
Josh
So
Fraser
Bevo's
was
going to
fun.
do some stuff. He's going to leave Jack McRae out, which was flagged.
Yep.
Interrupted pre-season, but still.
Can't they just go a week without
He's going
something
to do
weird?
something weird with Caleb Daniel. Started him as the sub.
But that was flagged well in advance too.
Both
Like,
of those
Dave's on the
guys were.
outer.
Sam
Yeah.
Landsberger had that,
Yeah.
and he's always bang on. Lockie Bramble, James Harms.
Bramble played well.
He did play well.
Yeah.
But
It's
there was
funny,
all these dudes...
all the
that-
changes in their footy department, but all their like player decisions still leak.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just thought it was an odd team that he picked, and it just seemed like a bunch of mismatched parts. That some of them played okay, some of them didn't. I feel like you got to play Jack McRae and Caleb Daniel.
Well, I disagree. I think the
Jack McRae, I know he's not Jack McRae.
no.
But you
how
can't
are
tell
how are
me-
you not highlighting Darcy as the number one?
Darcy's the other-
Like,
yeah,
sorry,
Darcy's
and I
the other
don't want
one.
to say it's a banned player's name.
The other guy, we're not
But he's
speaking
got to
of.
go.
Yeah.
Like, just
But-
for a bit.
No.
You got to.
100%
The forward
agree.
line should be Norton, who I think's been overtaken by Jamara.
Yeah,
To have-
just some Jamara touches on the weekend.
Yeah,
were
and
nice,
he
weren't
kicked.
they?
He could have kicked 5, I reckon.
I can understand if you're not picking McRae
But it's hard. You're not
and Daniel to pick some like Riley Sanders. I get that.
Yeah.
But the Bramble Harms types, are they taking you anywhere either?
No, I think Bevo's whole motto around this game was we're rock hard fit.
Yeah, okay.
So McRae hamstring.
Yep.
Caleb Daniel being interrupted. I think he
A
had
little bit,
been.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think his whole mantra was like, we're going to hit this team with the fittest team we've got. And in the end, on a hot day,
I think he's
first up.
overthought it. He's
I'll tell you
overthought.
what he overthought, subbing Sanders off.
Yes.
When
that
half
was-
the country needed 20 disposals and every other leg got up.
Caleb Daniel had 12 touches in about 15 minutes.
I think
Yeah.
Caleb's safe next week.
I would have
I
thought.
think he should be coming in.
Jesus.
Is this me? Oh, so Collingwood. So Zave, I wanted you to explain what the mood would be like there. Because I don't know how you guys started it in 2009. But
Shit
there's
house.
certainly a tip. Yeah. So what is it? Like, what does it feel like
Having
on
said
the
that, I
ground?
think 2009 off the top of my head, we had Geelong on a Friday night to start and then Sydney and Sydney.
It's not. That
That wasn't an easy run.
But like, is everyone scrambling trying to figure out what's going wrong? Is there an air of like, this is fine, we'll get through
Well, I
this?
reckon the media are covering it pretty well, that they're finding instances that the players aren't doing what they did last year. Like there's one bit of play where they're just jogging, like just casually jogging. A little bit like Brisbane. They look like the
Little
first
bit
team that's
disinterested.
puffed. Like when you see one team or UFC battle or something where one bloke starts to look gassed and you're like, oh, the arm wrestle of this fight's about to turn.
Yeah.
They look like they're gassed first, and so do Brisbane. So
Is it the shortened
I don't
pre-season
think
thing?
so. I'm not a big
Because it is an
buyer into
extra
that.
short pre-season this year, right? Because they started the season
Yeah, I think,
a week or
Jimmy
two early.
Bartels, I can't remember where it was, but it popped up on social. Someone asked him that question. He's just like, no.
So you're
They're
telling
professionals, they know how to get their
so
fit.
you're telling me you can't run October, November,
Yeah.
December,
But they're not. But
January,
they don't though.
February.
They've got the breaks.
That's 5 months.
They get to have that big break though.
yeah, but it's on
you're
the
not-
player
You're
to
not
stay
breaking
fit.
from. You're still meant to be training. You're still meant to be doing
of
the
course.
same running
Yeah,
as what
yeah,
you do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So no, I don't know. It's strange. It is strange.
Yeah, I just can't see. They seem to
And
get opened up so easily.
I think the best part, if you're the opposing team, is Dacos is still being Dacos,
Yeah.
but no one else is at their level.
No.
and then you start to worry about your own performance. Whereas Collingwood, it was just so seamless last year. You knew how everyone was going to play week in, week out.
So they've got St Kilda on Thursday night, and then they've got Brisbane at the Gabba.
and Brisbane have a bye this week.
St Kilda
Yeah.
are not. They're not easy beats.
No, it'll be a good game of footy.
They're going to strangle them.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
And St Kilda don't get the bright lights too often either. So
no,
it's a
so
big
they'll enjoy that.
opportunity.
MCG Thursday night.
Yeah. Talking about this last one for me, Adelaide overcomplicating it a fraction. The forecast on the Gold Coast,
I didn't see
Wet.
it. Stormy.
Wet.
Raining. Horrible.
Saligo was a sub. Surely, I know Tex didn't play, so you're already bringing in a
Bit too tall.
battler tall. Like if Tex was available, Tex played.
so
yeah,
Burgess, yeah.
They missed a chance. Saligo signed a 5-year deal.
Yeah, long deal. And he's very tough and in under, and it's this whole thing.
So
Yeah.
it's clearly not shit.
Yeah.
I mean, 5, well, everyone gets 5 now. 5's the 2 and 10's the 5 from previous days. But I just feel like they overcomplicated it a little bit. I would be, and the margin, when you look on the board, it says -6 points or whatever they
Yeah,
lost by.
But it was, yeah.
I don't think that that's the case when they review it. Nix was positive or whatnot. Their role really is Adelaide to make the finals. And I think I had them out of the finals, is win the home games.
I thought you were on the Crows.
Last year,
No,
I
I
was
think you
this
went
year I
unders.
off
You're
them.
off them.
This year I
You're
jumped.
I was overs.
You're
No,
still-
shocked you because I went under.
Yeah, because you've been a Crow man.
So they try and pencil in the home games, and they've got to try and pinch a couple on the road.
Yeah.
That's how they need to do it, because
Yep.
what they served up, despite it being -6, was poor.
I
Poor.
agree.
So
Yeah.
it's all on Adelaide Oval.
Well, as soon as I saw that Tex was out and obviously Thilthorpe's out,
Yeah.
I was like, they're exposed.
Correct.
Like kicking a winning score is going to be difficult for them unless Rochelle and Rankin can kick probably
Really
5 or
pop.
6 between them as a minimum.
have they ever done that?
No, that's not really their thing at the moment. I mean, they've had games. Where
No,
they,
but
They
games
kicking
like-
5 between them.
did they?
Rochelle had 3. Rankin definitely had at least 1.
No, but
Yeah, so
anyway,
4's
still.
not enough. But they kick 5, it's a
yeah.
draw.
Yeah, well, there you go.
How many did they kick? So now you
I know Rochelle kicked 3.
Nah, Rochelle 3, and we're safe
Just
here, mate.
one for
Good call.
Rankin.
we're safe. Yeah, no,
We're safe.
I always knew
Okay.
that. I was right there. See if they kick 5 between them.
It changes the game. Here's obviously the marker.
This is my last team. So Sydney, 2-0. Beating the D's, beating the Pies, 2
Looking very
finalists from
nice.
looking very looking very good. Our man
DMs
over
have been a
here.
little bit quiet too, with Brodie Grundy having a shocker.
He didn't have a
Didn't have
huge
too
game.
many little slide-in DM moments.
But I'd say he was beaten by Darcy Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, Grundy was woeful.
Yeah, they did it without him. So here's my question. Heaney looks fantastic. Right?
Yep.
And I think he's the most centre bounces to you on the weekend. Or
know.
He
the
would've
top
come close.
Chad
couple.
Warner, excellent.
Oh.
3 goals,
Oh.
very good. And
look good in
Errol
purple.
in their second half was just a machine. And Rowbottom as well. Rowbottom was excellent, particularly in the first half of that game. He was everywhere. So they're going to bring back Parker and they're going to bring back Adams. They're the soonest ones.
Question is, do you bring Adams? Like, Adams is the one for me where it's like,
Well, he can't play in the middle. Because
Yeah,
you
well,
have to play him
where
half
does he
forward.
play?
And then Mills later in the year as well. You
Yep.
can assume Mills is going to have to go down
Yeah.
back. So this is now a problem because they're going to have all these young blokes playing really well. And
But what a
Heaney,
good problem. So Mills to a wing,
Yep.
Goulden to the wing. He did less than half centre bounce on the
yeah,
weekend anyway.
he can
doesn't
play
need
Errol.
it, yeah.
Errol can
So-
play anywhere. So don't worry about Errol.
That's sweet.
But Chad and Heaney, I reckon you kind of need in there.
Chad, Heaney,
Yeah.
Parker.
Yeah. So can you play Parker
Parker, row
forward
bottom.
then?
Well, or
Because
just
you need
the mid,
Rowbottom in there to do the tough stuff.
or just the mid off the bench or something like that.
People always ignore the tough stuff midfielder. It's like with Hawthorn, they'll forget
Rowbottom-
about Connor Nash.
Rowbottom
You
didn't
need
do
him.
a great deal. McInerney did more centre bounces than Rowbottom on the weekend.
That surprises me.
Yeah, and Jordan did 13, and McInerney did 13.
How many did Rowbottom do?
9.
Yeah. How many tackles do you have?
Oh, shit.
Quite a few.
7. Oh, no, sorry. 13.
She loves a cuddle.
Yeah.
Loves a cuddle. See, I think you need him in there. So
Yeah, but I reckon it's the way Sydney are built.
yeah. There's just so much talent.
Click the finger
Yeah.
and Mills can be Rowbottom.
Yeah.
Like,
McDonald and Marty were both had impacts.
yeah, Marty. I liked the Marty.
As you know, McDonald was a lot of them over the top, but
Yeah.
at least he was up and about.
But what about
He
my
did a lot
man
of-
Marty just standing tall
No.
at
Yeah.
times?
I know. They look good. They look good. And quick shout out to Matt Roberts, who looks like he fits in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
like him.
He's bigger than I remembered,
Yeah.
like taller.
You're last. Lucky last.
We're West Coast.
It's always West Coast last.
But, mate, there's not a lot of energy to it.
Shout out Puma. That was a really good marketing move they made on the weekend. They bought out the back page
What
on
would
game
that
day.
cost?
Yeah, what would that cost? Can you guess? As a guess, you don't know, so you guess. I'm going to say a number, and you tell me
Probably
when to
should
stop.
know.
50 grand.
Oh, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'll have to go to.
He used to do this for a
How
living.
use?
He used to actually run the sports department.
Yeah, I don't do the sales, mate. I don't want to. I'm going to
feel
say
like you should have asked.
300,000.
Do you reckon it's that much?
No, it's not
No.
that much, but I'm just
No.
putting a high price on it, mate.
It had to be at least 10 grand.
More than 10 grand, a lot more than 10 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want you to find out.
I'll find out
She'll
for you.
go.
I'll bring it back.
In case we ever want to do it.
Yeah.
It's Hard Ball Gets
Hard
on
Ball
the back
Gets.
page. 50 grand.
I think ours would be more just favour based and like maybe a slab.
Yeah.
We could get it done. Harley Reid thoughts. So some slices through traffic. You can see what he's going to be.
had
Obviously,
some
he got
time.
tougher as the game went on.
Yeah, I thought there was time and patience in those congested moments, which is
Yes.
what the main thing you wanted to see was, does he get frazzled? Clearly not.
No.
Is he going to stand up to the people getting into him? Absolutely, he did.
Yep.
But his game is not to get 30 touches.
No, that's
not
right.
what
He
it is.
doesn't,
That's
he
his
doesn't get a
level.
lot of easy
Yeah.
stuff.
That's his level.
Yeah,
Like-
that'll be what he does probably 9 games out of 10 this year.
And that's what's annoying is the expectations that are being set on him
yeah.
aren't what he's going to be. And I did
Yeah.
a little bit of digging. Chris Judd had one game over 20 disposals in his first year.
Is that right?
Yeah, one. Dusty Martin saw a different era, where ball was being used more.
Yeah.
Had one game over 25.
Yeah.
One. Like,
Well, Matt Rowell, who we thought had
Yeah.
a run of 35,
Yeah.
ended up being 22.
So, like, I think his bracket is 16 to 22.
Yeah.
That's his bracket.
Yeah, and if he plays 20 games, you'd be hoping
Yeah.
he kicks 20 to 25 goals.
No chance.
No?
No chance.
You don't reckon?
No.
Because he's just not going to play that
also,
role.
you'd want him to play more in the you'd want to give him more of a taste.
Could he
of
kick
the ball than
15 goals? Give me a number.
10?
10 goals.
10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want him to trend more middle than forward, right?
Yeah, I reckon we're all because you're going to have dry patches down that forward
Yeah,
line.
absolutely. Yeah. He's not the second coming.
But I did like he was midfield forward,
Yeah.
not
Half-back,
kicking in
midfield.
from full back and
Yeah.
jogging around.
Yep.
You were next to Butters at the first centre bounce. Good
What
luck,
did you
young
make
man.
of? What did you make of West Coast? Quickly.
Oh, they need to get to 45 inside 50. I said to you
Well,
this
they get
morning.
40.
40. The margin should have been a lot bigger, but yeah.
Agreed.
Before we go, I have something.
Oh, no.
So this will be for you in the intro to promote, but it's at you.
Oh, good. Yes. Good.
Now
For
I
all
get,
those who have turned off, they'll be
Yeah,
filthy.
stick
now
around.
I get uncomfortable.
Here we go.
Well, this is like TikTok. Watch to the end.
Yeah. I get really uncomfortable when I see you in battles.
Oh, here we
When
go.
I see you in fights.
I was wondering if this would come
there
up.
is a journalist at the moment who over East is being lauded as the #1 journalist in
Very
town.
active. Very
Sure.
active.
Tom Morris.
He's flying.
Tom
Yeah.
Morris has been nailing story after story after story.
Mitch Cleary does a very good job too.
Tom Morris is winning at the moment.
Okay. That's what you think.
And
He's in the old
if
boys,
that's what
mate.
you think.
And he went to a certain school, young Tom Morris.
Ryan,
He's in the network.
Did he go to
of.
the same school as you?
And Ryan
Tier
Daniels got a little bit antsy when Tom Morris put his little toe into Western Australia and tweeted something about Sean Darcy and the length that he's expected to miss being a lot more than is being reported
Yep.
bloke. I took it as a direct hit, Ryan. And he suggested 8 weeks, I think it was.
I think he said 6 to 8, yeah.
6 to 8. And you came back on a different tweet.
I didn't.
Just some people have been asking.
Within
They had.
minutes. Within minutes. Some people have been asking, Sean Darcy's out for 4. Like you hadn't seen Tom Morris's tweet
Hi,
and
guys.
played dumb.
No.
And now you're in a full-on stoush.
It's not a stoush.
Yeah, it is. And you've gone, Ben
I like the
Cameron,
follow-up.
you lost to him. and now Tom Morris, and followed up. And Tom Morris has just sat back now. He's planted the seed.
I sat back.
No, you didn't. You doubled.
That was my favourite part. Was
You're
the
like the
tweeting out the injury list.
That's the injury list. Yeah. Now that was
Just sharing.
Now that was one weird to start with.
It's a public service.
So now he's
Can I
down
explain
to
myself?
No, now he's down to 3 weeks, and he's nowhere near coming back in 3. You're purely on a timeline here where there's a right or wrong answer.
Can I explain?
There's a right or wrong answer, so we know who wins this.
Countdown's on.
Hey, people can have setbacks.
No. That might have been what Tom was reporting. I think it exactly was what he was reporting.
Right? Look, yeah. Okay. Can I explain myself? So what happens is when you report something and you say 3 or 4 weeks, which I did originally, and then someone else reports something else, then you start getting inundated with people going, but you said this.
Yeah.
So then you either have to escape it at that point or ignore it.
Yeah, which is probably a good idea.
Or you can go, all right, well, I better check, because that's kind of, you know this, when someone else is reporting something different,
Then you go back and
hold
check,
on a minute,
yeah,
shit,
so
I better
you sold
double
me out
check
of bloody ribbon,
that
you
I am
dog.
right. So you go back to your contact and you say, hey, is anything happened here? And then they'll say to you sometimes, yes, something's changed. Or they might say, no, nothing's changed, still exactly the part.
Or, depending on the
I thought
contact,
it was
they might lie to you
important for me to
outright.
say, no. And it was an interesting time with Darcy because a lot of people wanted to know about the whole Luke Jackson thing. So I just thought it was
had nothing to do
important.
with Luke Jackson thing. It was either 4 or 8. Luke Jackson was playing ruck regardless first week.
but
so don't throw
you
Luke Jackson. Don't throw dollar into this.
You know as well as I do that the fantasy community was very interested in this.
Yeah, no. So
Very interested.
I want to. I've got a carton of beer I'd like to put on this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That Sean Darcy is out for 6 to 8,
really?
and that you're going to have to delete the tweet.
Okay, well,
Delete the
I would
tweet.
never delete the tweet.
Jared
But let's
Waitley.
put a round on it. So it's round 1. I say he'll be back by round 4 at the latest.
Okay. So 3 more games off.
Yeah.
2 more games
round
off.
4 at the latest.
Wait, no, it's
He'll
only 2
play.
more games
It's
off.
2 more
after this.
games off.
And then play round 4.
Yeah, but when he tweeted 4, it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Now, hold on. So you're saying if he's back round...
I'll take anything over that.
you've said 6 to 8. So if he's back round 5, no one wins.
If he's back 5, I win.
No, 6 to 8, you said. So you've got to stand by your claim here.
Oh, all right.
right,
If
5
neither,
is Switzerland.
If neither of us are right,
Yeah.
I get
Nick
a
gets a
carton.
carton.
Okay, we both buy Nick a carton if it's round 5?
Yeah, right. Nick gets
Okay,
both.
deal.
That's it. I'll
Okay,
take this.
Deal.
So
I feel
wait, so
good
you
about
got
this.
round 4 to, and then what's his?
Mate, if he comes back earlier than round 4, then I'm also on that too.
Oh, okay.
He's got 6 onwards.
Okay.
I've
So
got
I'm
up to 4, and you've got 5.
Okay, so I've got round 5. I'll take it.
Yeah. Now, does
I'll
it
just
count if
weigh
he
in
plays for Peel, or does it have to be for Fremantle?
AFL.
Well, I did say back playing footy in 3 to 4 weeks.
AFL, we know the rules. We know the rules.
Playing footy.
We know the rules.
He's not dead, as was suggested.
Try not to be such a bitch on Twitter either.
Mate, you see,
I wasn't a bitch. I'm filling
Mate,
the
it
people.
was how quick was it, Nick? You
Hi
saw
guys.
it.
Hi guys.
No, oh my God. In
So
my,
people have
Hold
been
on.
asking.
Hey, can I just
Rhino
say,
jumped to
I
his
like
burner
Tom, and I
account.
think he's a bloody good
in
journalist.
my group
Don't
chat,
start
in my
this
group chat,
bullshit.
we had the tweets going back and forth, and then we had to vote on who we thought was going to be right or wrong.
Did you? And?
You had a lot in your corner.
Well, thank you.
Wow. Rhino just jumps on. As soon as the news dropped, just jumped over to his burner account. Hi, Ryan. I thought you said 4.
Yeah,
Jump
I
back
know.
to the main one.
I know.
Hey, guys, people have been asking.
People have been
Is that all
asking
you got? Is that you had something else there as
No,
well?
that's all
You were
I've
going to
got.
load
That's
up.
good enough. You having a stoush with another journalist.
Yeah,
All right,
he's
good.
he treats the border like 2020 Mark McGowan, mate. It's just like, nobody,
No one's allowed to leave here.
Yeah,
No
don't
way.
you bloody come in
I
here
do get a
asking
bit funny
questions.
when East Coast journos start reporting on
Yeah.
WA stuff. I do.
Weird.
It's a territorial thing.
I felt uncomfortable for you.
You're caught in the middle. This is like mum and dad are
No,
fighting, isn't it?
I
Or
was just like...
Even Tom, they're in the same group.
the old, they see each other.
I
was a few years older than him.
They
in school.
see each other as a secret society every day.
So
every
you
off-season.
guys would have been
His
buddies.
dad was my teacher.
Oh, there you go.
his
You would
dad.
have been buddies or something. Because is it a buddy
That
system
was a
at those
border,
Just a
mate. We just
network,
got
mate.
bullied.
Yeah.
All right, this has been the Hard Ball Gets AFL show. Tune in tomorrow for the mailbag edition, and then we'll see you next week. Tomorrow. See you then.